Wow. Um, there we go. Hello. Um, Welcome back to the next installment of me cooking all of the foods from Stardew Valley. I'm realizing that I had my phone so that I could read out my um rule set and then forgot to actually open that. So let me do that. Um, I should be efficient about this. On account of this one's going to kind of take a while. Uh, but hello. I realized that I have not been introducing myself in these, and I kind of think that was not on purpose, but I think it's funny. I will be in frame at least. I think that that's funny, so I'm gonna keep not doing it. I'm just the guy who's cooking. This challenge. Here are my rules that I have set for myself. I am one by one, mostly. Last time I did a bunch because it was a recipe that needed other recipes in it. I'm cooking all of the foods that you can cook as the cooking in Stardew Valley. Hi, buddy. Um, Rules. Number one, I must use all of the ingredients that are listed in the game. Possible exceptions for fish type, TBD if this is needed. It's not easy to get. Salmon's easy to acquire. Rule two, I can add any other ingredients that are not available in the game. So, there's no lemons in Stardew Valley. I can add lemon to whatever I want. Um, Rule number three, as much as possible, create the recipes myself. I can use kind of instructions or recipes for baking, and for general pointers and techniques. But I'm gonna try and kind of come up with things from scratch and see how that goes. Rule number four, as much as possible, use local and or forage ingredients. I've got a goal of one fancy ingredient per recipe. Um, I have farmer's market kale today. Rule five, as much as possible, take inspiration from the in-game images and descriptions. Rule number six, as much as possible, try to make them actually tasty, even if they're not necessarily pitched as it. This rule is about carp surprise. And seven, have fun. So, as you can see on the little screen border that I actually remembered to update this time. I am making salmon dinner. This is the the recipe that kind of made me want to do this. I actually have made it before, sort of. Not completely up to my rules. I'm also scrolling through my list to find where it is so I can read off the description. Um, Yeah, I have no idea how audible she is, but my cat is in here and she is talking to me. Um, I don't know where it is. Let me let me find it. Uh, so I've made um sort of this before. Last time, actually, I cheated. I used olive oil, which um I'm not going to do today. I'm going to use a different thing. Um, but okay, salmon dinner. The lemon spritz makes it special. Um, the ingredients: salmon, amaranth, and kale. Things that I will be adding are lemon, seasonings, um, butter is kind of the main thing. Um, Things I would think to use but am not allowed to because they exist in the game. Garlic, unfortunate. I probably will use a little bit of garlic powder, which I'm counting as a different thing. Um, and I'm thinking I'll use some onion. Um, but I will get going so that I'm not still doing this uh in a really long time. Okay, so I'm gonna get the oven going because the salmon will need a while. to cook my salmon. Here's my bag that I will throw over here, um, and have it land on the floor ungracefully. Um, so my like go-to way of cooking salmon is from salt, fat, acid, heat. The slow roasted salmon. So I'm preheating my oven to 225 Fahrenheit, um, which is pretty pretty low. I think that's like 105 or 110 Celsius, somewhere in there. What knife do I want? We'll just use this. Um, so step one, while that's happening, is to make some lemon butter. And I'm trying to decide if I want to brown the butter. That will probably be pretty tasty, but would probably maybe take longer than I want. You know what? We're gonna do this beautiful style. I'm gonna brown some butter. Um, probably probably a quarter cup is good for. Um, yeah, I don't want to use more than a stick of butter in this whole thing, so I will use half of it for the brown butter and the rest for other things. Okay, I'm gonna brown this butter, and I'm going to put lemon into it. Definitely lemon zest. I think probably also a little bit of lemon juice. Lemon receipt will go in my pocket to be forgotten. I kind of hate zesting lemons, actually. Sometimes we need to make sacrifices for um, meat food. Hopefully the clanking of this my grater against the bowl is not awful. Um, well, at least the lemon zest smells really delicious and beautiful. I'm trying to think if parchment paper or tinfoil is going to make more sense to put down on the can. I'm gonna zest both of these lemons, actually. I would actually probably not hate zesting lemons as much if I had one of those like little it's like wand style uh grater zester thingies. But I don't. I just have my big box grater, which is kind of annoying to point. It is much better when you use the like small grate rather than the thing on the side that I think is actually like intended for zesting. But like I feel like it does plenty good of a job to have finely grated instead of completely threaded. I don't believe I need this for myself. Um, how we doing? Pretty good. I'm thinking we brown the butter. Well, we put the lemon zest in as soon as it's melted, instead of browning it and then putting it in, it might like infuse more, which I feel like is kind of more my goal than necessarily having like specifically brown butter. Um, Especially since I like don't really make savory stuff with brown butter. I use it in desserts. Uh, Speaking of desserts, I think possibly my next one of these will be a dessert. I need to go. My plan is after I eat dinner, I'm gonna go for a nice little walk and check on some blackberry bushes that I've been keeping an eye on. And by keeping an eye on, I mean I went to a park and saw that they were there, and I didn't realize there were blackberry bushes here. And parchment paper, I think. Um, and they were not ripe yet, but I think that they probably will be pretty soon, which I am excited for because I love going and picking blackberries in the summer, and then baking with them. And that will be a great. I'm gonna just put like half of this lemon zest in the butter. I'm gonna save some of it for other things that I will be making. Yeah, yeah. Oh, mm, yeah. I'll put some garlic powder in here. Maybe I won't actually brown this butter. I'll just sort of simmer it until the oven is preheated. Um, that probably won't be quite long enough to like actually fully brown it. Um, in the meantime, I'm going to slice up these lemons uh, to make a little. Ah, fuck, I was gonna get like dill. I completely forgot about that. I have some pickles. I wonder if I could like fish dill pickles. That's like a bad idea. I'm not gonna do that. I was about to be like, oh, we'll do some green onions. I can't. Spring onions are in the game. I do have regular onions though. I'm gonna do. I think it actually makes more sense to make onion with the tail rather than the fish. Um, I don't remember if it's probably. Oh, I don't know. When I've done like the bed of lemon before for fish, I feel like it kind of gets bitter. Um, and I don't necessarily want to like eat the the lemon. So I will probably actually not bother picking all the seeds out. Okay, all those beautiful lemon slices are going in. And then the lemon butter is here. I thought about making the lemon butter earlier actually, but then I was like, eh. Well, I was gonna like make brown butter and then um like let it cool and use that, but I think it's gonna be fine to do it this way. I guess now that I have this, oh, there's the oven heated. Yeah, let's just like prep this salmon and then we'll put the butter on at whatever stage it's at. Okay, salmon, blah. I realized that like this is like so incredibly not visible what I'm doing because it is directly behind my dish rack. But that's fine. Such is life. Um, okay, got that. I'm going to salt my salmon. So normally what I do is basically this, and then you just throw some olive oil on that bad boy, stick it in the oven. Um, I'm hoping that butter behaves well in this recipe. Um, I think it should probably be fine, especially since like it's such a low temperature that you cook it at. Um, that like I don't think it'll like hit its smoke point or anything like that. Um, I think it'll probably there'll be nice red onion. I got onions at the farmer's market too because I was feeling fancy, and also the onions that I've been getting. I haven't been. I've been using like weird amounts of onions lately. Like I used to. I feel like I used to use a lot more. Um, and so I would go through. I would like go through a whole bag in like a week, week and a half. So it was like definitely worth getting the like 3 pound bags of onions. But then I guess I slowed down on my onion usage. So my onions kept going bad, and I was like, well, this is not fun. Um, so then I was like, all right, I'll get singular onions because they were like huge onions. Um, but that I I've always had like a I always would use like a quarter of like the world's largest onion, which also was not like totally my jam. And so I got some like normal sized onions from the farmer's market. And they are pretty nice. I mean, it's onions. Okay. I'm gonna actually like try this. I'm getting some lemon there. Um, I should maybe have like saved a slice of lemon to like juice over this. But I didn't do that. So I'm just pouring all this lemon garlic butter um onto this salmon. Hopefully it's not too hot that it like messes up anything. So I don't know, it was like not that hot. I touched it. It was okay. And then putting this in the oven for like 45 minutes. Um, so that's going. And then I will think about what I want to do in the meantime. I'm gonna wash this pot. I don't have to do it later. Actually, I should maybe let it cool down a little bit. Whoopsie, it's fine. So the other things I need to do are make amaranth, and make the kale. Um, and I'm thinking I'll do. I'm trying to think how I think like slicing onions, and maybe I caramelize the onions. I've got time. Gotta wait for the salmon to cook, which it does really slowly. Um, I would do that actually. And then I can do the. You being so meanies to me. Is it because I filled you with garlic cloves? Um, sometimes it gets stuck in the middle drain of my. Okay, I think yeah, let's do like slices of onion. We'll caramelize them at least a little bit, and then uh, throw the kale in once we reach that. I guess I don't usually like caramelized red onions, so that'll be fun. Um, And these will also need a bit of wonky bit on my onion. These will also need to be cooked in butter because oil is illegal. Um, and I want to make like so I want to do like a butter sauce for the amaranth. Because last time I made it, it was really bland. You can get that actually. Here's my little bag of amaranth that I got at a organic grocery store type situation. Um, well, fancy action. Okay, let me think about this. I do think that the amount of butter that I used for the fish was correct, but I also am like, well, I really want to. I think we probably only need like, I think we can make the kale and the onions happen with not a lot of butter, actually. Um, Especially because like I don't want them to be too greasy. So let's do that. Where did I put my little marriages? Okay, got some butter, get some onions in there. It is trash night for me. Well, actually, I probably will want to wait until I'm like properly done to take the trash out. I was gonna say like I might go to a PRB screen at some point and run and do that. Maybe I still will if there's like a good lull. This is the end piece. I don't want to use. Um, my plan for the amaranth seasoning is I'm gonna melt some butter. I'm gonna put lemon zest and I think I did lemon juice last time as like just juice and not zest. I'll probably do a little of both, and then nutritional yeast, and I'm gonna make sort of a like sauce. Nutritional yeast is like kind of good as like a thickener sometimes. I feel like that's like not really intended use, but I'll do it when I'm like making like butter noodles. I'll melt the butter and then I'll add lemon and garlic and nutritional yeast. You just sort of make a little like liquidy paste situation and then toss the pasta in that, and it's really good. Um, Nutritional yeast, another classic ingredient that I use a lot. Um, okay. Onion time. It's onion time. It will be onion time for a long time. I need to think about. Actually, I probably will start the amaranth now because it takes, I think, like 20 minutes to cook. And then after that, I will do my little sauce situation. Okay. Um, let's see. Last time I made this, I made a cup, which was honestly kind of a lot. It was also like for multiple people. But I still had 2.5 cups of water to a cup of amaranth. If we do half of that, it'll be 1 3/4. Where is my half cup? Why is there right here? Where is my half cup actually? Oh, for realsies. It's like randomly hidden somewhere. Sometimes things don't get put away. And sometimes it is my fault, but sometimes it's not. Uh, paper towel that of unknown provenance. There it is. I'll probably keep this like medium low and not medium. I forgot that I had it on medium too. Did it? One up. Okay. My kitchen is like kind of messy right now. It's like sort of still hasn't recovered from the beet carrot soup that I made yesterday. Which like beet soup's great. I'm a fan. Um, but it also does. It's the beets are really good at getting everywhere. Um, so this has you boil the water first, which is the thing that I forgot. When you add it once it's boiling, that's really embarrassing. Into a little bowl you go. Okay, this is just so beautiful because it didn't all stick in this. I think I literally made the same mistake last time. Okay, I need 1 3/4 cups. So I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll boil this bad boy. Oh, um, keep cooking onions. Once that water boils and I get the amaranth going, then I will probably start cutting up the kale. Okay, this needs to happen for 20 minutes once it goes in there. Um, I think part of the inspiration for me wanting to do this challenge overall and specifically um making salmon dinner of Stardew Valley fame is number one because I was like, what is amaranth actually taste like? Um, Number two, because I can get kale that looks like the kale from Stardew Valley. Um, and I kept seeing it at the farmer's market. I feel like kale has kind of a long season here. I feel like it's been there for months. I'm trying to figure out how much of this I want to. I'm just gonna make all of it, honestly, because I don't have any other plans for. Maybe I won't make all of it just because I'm like not using a crazy amount of butter. Use like half of it. Um, and I will probably make the rest of it basically the same way later this week. Oh, I can do that. I'm gonna make like tofu and the plan was broccoli, but maybe I'll do kale. Okay, so I'm going to get a bowl for this. Um, I'm gonna take the stems off of the kale. Which this type of kale is like so much easier to do that on than like like the curly kale. Um, in my humble onion. Um, I'm gonna do like little like long strips because that's how I cut them last time and it was pretty good. Um, and I feel like that is like a fun way of doing it and it like cooks down an alright amount. Um, and I did save some butter to add once I add the kale in, so I think that should be good. Yeah, so I'm just cutting these little strips. Um, Struggle to find a place for the stems, as one does. Uh, I guess also like when you are doing kale like from full leaves, because like usually I feel like maybe I've said this on one of the other ones of these, although I haven't used kale yet on any of them, so maybe not. But I usually when I use kale, I just get the like my water's boiling. This is perfect actually because the amaranth heats 20 minutes, so I will just toss it in there when this is on 30 in a minute. Um, and I will take it off when it gets down to 10. Um, Usually I just get like a big bag of like chopped kale. Um, because the things I do with kale are like cook it and eat it with like tofu or mushrooms or sometimes like fish or something. Um, 30 in there. I think you kind of just let it. As this stuff cooks, it looks so strange. I might actually like. Let me. This might go bad. You got my like full laptop. Um, it looks very weird when it. I also like can't really tell how well you can see that. Um, but it. I should turn you down to a simmer. Whoopsie. Um, it like sort of looks like weird alien porridge. Um, in a way that is like kind of weird, but also kind of appealing to me. And I think I need to cover this. Um, Back to the back you go. Back into the simmer cover. Okay. Um, yeah, it looks really weird. I am kind of into it though. Because they're small little. It's actually I what would maybe be like a more interesting slash contextualized way to describe this food that I'm talking about that I think is not very commonly found and eaten in the United States. Um, it's kind of like couscous. It's got that like sort of like texture. It's another like small like little grain that's a bunch of orbs. Um, yeah. Uh, Burning my onions a little bit. That's kind of fine though. Like I kind of like to let them get like brown. Um, Onions are like sort of my cheat for the fact that I can't just add garlic to whatever I want in this challenge. Even though I feel like they are like not like yeah, they're both like almonds, but I feel like they're different enough. It's like not that I need to find something that is closer to garlic. Um, that isn't. I wonder if like the like wild garlic that I sometimes find in my yard or in fields would count. I guess it is like up to me ultimately. Like this is a challenge I have set for myself. Um, No, don't turn off phone. Stay on so we can look at the the chat that no one's in right now. I've got a new idea for another Man of the House AMV. I have made an AMV about Chilchuck Dungeon Meshi to a song called Man of the House. Um, and before I did that, I had an idea that I had yet to do, and I do still want to do it. But to do an AMV to same song for show from Mob Psycho 100. And I have kind of just like come to the idea that it would be really funny if I make a bunch of different AMVs, all to different characters, but all to that same song. Um, because like, and I think it works. There's like a few different interpretations that I think you can do for that song. And there is like no shortage of characters with kind of that it would fit for because it is like a song about masculinity and entitlement kind of. And so you can, but it's also like kind of silly. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's not like silly, but it is like sort of parody adjacent. Um, and so yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like rich grounds there. But there's also like a specific interpretation that I think is like more of a stretch. That is really funny that to me that my sister like came up with, and I was like, "You're literally so right about that." Okay, more butter so that I can melt that, and then add this kale in here. Kale is definitely going to be ready before anything else, but that's fine. That'll be a good thing to snap on while I wait for the rest of my dinner to be done. Um, the other downside to beet soup is that it's like it's just beets. It's just like blended up beets. In my case, it was blended up beets and carrots and unblended up garlic that I probably should have like chopped up smaller than I did. Um, and then just like some lemon juice and pickle juice and broth and seasonings. And like it's good, but I feel like it is also like not. It's never quite as filling as I expect it's gonna be. Um, there's not the like longevity of. You know what I should have done is use my tongs here. Classic blunder. Um, well, this will cook down. And then once it's like it's a little bit fitting in the pan better, I'll add some salt, pepper, lemon zest, nutritional yeast. You know, there's going to be nutritional yeast in here. Um, I did like intentionally get, well, I got a thing of salmon that was the size that was available. But I got like a slightly bigger one. Um, so that I can have leftovers. Because I am a leftovers warrior, fundamentally. Um, and it's there is somewhere I was going with this that I'm losing. Oh yeah, I'm thinking I might like do actually like just breakfast leftovers. And have some uh do like I've got some bagels and I've got some cream cheese I need to use up. So do like sort of not smoked salmon, but like I feel like this way of cooking salmon, this like slow roasting, I feel like it's like kind of a good smoking adjacent way of preparing salmon. Um, okay, that is fitting in the pan now. That's some salt, and I'm probably taking the shingles in the hand there. All right, peppy. Where's my pepper grinder? I think I need to drop oregano all over the place. I think I probably need to refill this pepper grinder soon. It like feels empty, but the pepper's still coming out, so we're winning. That should be good. I definitely feel like there are things I was in the middle of saying that I got distracted, trailed off, etc. But I don't remember what has been left unfinished in terms of things to say. So maybe they'll come back to me, and maybe they won't, and maybe I'll just get further and further off topic forever. Either is kind of a beautiful thing. All right, throwing some lemon zest in here. Maybe that would have been good to do like right at the end. And then I'm not going to go too crazy on the nutritional yeast on this, just because I think that I am going to go a little crazy on it in the amaranth sauce situation. But I think if I toss this around a little more so that it's all nice and mixed up, I think that this is probably done. The beautiful pale onion situation. I'm gonna do that and let it let it cool off slightly while I check on this. Oh yeah, delightful. Um, my plan actually was to use this pot to make my little sauce, but I'm wondering if it would be better to. You're pretty dry. Seems real way. I wonder if it would be better to make it in a pan. I'm gonna do that. Um, yeah. Well, we've still got like 10 minutes. I'll until the amaranth is done. I'll melt the butter for that sauce at like when I've got like 5 minutes until I need to take the amaranth off, I guess. Or maybe I should actually we're gonna we're gonna free up. That scares me. We're gonna free up some space here on this. Let's actually stay here. Um that way I can put the I'll have a cold burner. Great to put this amaranth pot on once it's done. Um, yeah, I don't know. I gotta decide what augment I want today for my MMOLB team. Should let's see. Actually, there's probably a game happening right now. Let's see. Maybe I'll do some commentary. Um, well, my team's the Weaver Ants. I don't have claws. I'm not a crab anymore. Um, Mandible and Terry, that's like definitely more of a stretch. Oh, we are losing to the furry convention. I simply must look at this team. Okay, there, furry is the location. That is awesome. Love that for them. Um, I mean, it's 0-1. Like that, it's a one. Uh, one-run game right now. We're in the top of the seventh. First plate appearance of the seventh inning was Lori Arias. Uh, she singled on a line drive. Next up, we've got Hitchcock Lincolnshire. Iris Nakamura is batting for the Furry Convention. Throws a ball and a strike, bringing the count up to 1-1. Um, Another strike looking here for Lincolnshire, bringing it to 1-2. Uh, sees one inside. I actually don't know what hand Lincolnshire is. Hitchcock Lincolnshire, which is a great name. Couple of foul tips here on the next three, actually. That one would have been a ball, but there's another ball for 2-2. Another ball, full count, and Lori Arias has stolen second base, setting things up for a walk. Not that it would really matter. Foul ball 3-2. Oh, you gotta let that one send you to first. It's a pop up to third. Pops out to third baseman Janet Larchmont. All right, next up we've got Susie O'Day, my worst batter right now. 15 minutes left. All right, that means 5 minutes until um whatever. Uh, Amaranth. 5 minutes till Amaranth. So I'm gonna melt some butter, and I'm going to get out my lemon juice because I didn't think to save any normal lemon. I didn't add any lemon juice to the kale. I also haven't tried it yet. Oh, that's really buttery. Hmm. Actually, no, it's fine. It's very peppery, which I do like. I feel like I always am like, oh, I'm gonna make this thing really peppery, and then it's not actually that peppery. Um, I think this type of kale actually also just like kind of seems more buttery. I don't know if it's like the shape or what. Um, but the other times I've had it, I've been like, oh man, this is like really kind of oily. Um, we'll see how lemony this turns out, but I might add some lemon juice as a little garnish. Not really a garnish. I might add some lemon juice to the kale. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Alright. Butter melted. I'm going to do. I think actually what I should do is throw. This is unsalted butter. Throw some MSG in there, and then I'm gonna throw some nutritional yeast. We're really just gonna like savor this on this. Uh, think probably there needs to be some more nutritional yeast in here because I want this to like be kind of thick because then I'm gonna add more liquid in the lemon juice. And then I'll want it to be kind of liquidy to be mixed into the amaranth. Smells pretty strongly of nutritional yeast. I would expect nothing less. Okay. Okay, good. No, I think I want a little more lemon. There we go. Has to be good. I'll leave this to use. Okay. And then sort of mix this all together. Let it let it simmer for the last couple minutes while this amaranth finishes cooking. I actually feel like last time I made some amaranth, I think I needed a little longer than 20 minutes. I could also kind of goof it, just leave it cooking uh, on high for like a minute after I. Oh, shoot, I was gonna put lemon zest in this. You know what? I'll mix the lemon zest separately. I'll mix it like straight in. Wood's kind of hot. Who would ever have expected? Yeah, this is not done. Um, it like when it's plain, it's got like a. The smell definitely reminds me of something that I can't quite place. Yeah, you need longer to cook. Mm. Get butter on my spatula. I love to do that. Always doing it very on purpose. Um, okay. All right. You can just be on simmer. Actually, I'm gonna this run. I feel like that's like a nice balance of lemon and nutritional yeast. A little more nutritional yeasty than lemony, which, considering I've got some lemon zest still, I feel like is a good spot to be at. Salmon looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to say. I probably need to clean the glass on this oven. Um, Treasure's life. You know what? I'm actually gonna leave him. I'll put you back here. I'll bring you back for a second. Just gonna throw some lemon juice straight on here. Do this. Toss it around, and then I'm going to put some paper towels in here. Just to, like collect a little of the oil to be a little less oily, a little less buttery. Um, let's see, how's this? That's very good. Oh, there we go. I'll leave this here. But how are you doing, O Amaranth? Okay, actually has thickened up quite considerably, even in just like 4 minutes. It was like soupy before. Um, I like super don't remember how to tell if this stuff is done. Um, it's pretty all right. Okay, I think I'll add, I'll add in this. I'm just gonna mix it up. Um, I'm gonna see how it seems to be. Okay. It all mixed up. Okay. So it's kind of like nice and smooth. A little bit of a porridge situation. Pretty tasty. Just gonna throw the rest of this lemon zest in here. Who needs to have garnishes? Turn this off, but leave it on here. Actually, maybe that's a lie, and maybe I am gonna completely take off the heat. We'll cover it. You go here. And there are 6 minutes until my salmon is done, and hopefully, well, actually, I guess this is it's a little warm, probably from having a a hot pan on it. But you are, yeah, you're fine. You're cool enough to wash. I'm gonna let the water like actually get hot before I do it though, so I don't want it to like steam too much. Beautiful. It's definitely still too hot. Yeah, adding the lemon to the kale balanced it out big time. What was it? It was just ample. I'm not fully washing this. A rinse is sufficient. This you can go in the dishwasher. Right. Oh, I should probably actually add a little bit of. Did I add salt? Yes, I added MSG. Um, right? What the hell did I add MSG to? I think it was the sauce for this. Okay, that's probably good on pepper. Oh, I think maybe one of the things that I like started to say and then didn't finish saying was about like pepper. I feel like it is. I really like black pepper. I like food to be quite peppery, and I feel like that's kind of hard to achieve. And maybe it's just that I like get tired of grinding pepper and go, oh, that's probably enough pepper, and it isn't necessarily. Okay, that's very tasty. I did a good job on that. Yeah, but I just need to like. I don't think I'm like shy about it. I'll add a lot of pepper, but I guess maybe I need to be even less shy. Um, and then also I was like, oh wow, adding the lemon juice was really good on this. It's crazy. It's almost like I really like some book about like balancing different elements of food and cooking. Like I don't know, for example, like salt and fat and acid. Um, and like adding the one of those that you kind of forgot to add makes it good. Wow, crazy. Um, I think I actually did quite a good job of like being efficient with this, where it's like, okay, everything is done, but hasn't been done for a crazy long time, and I just need to like wait another couple minutes for the fish to finish. Um, Last time I made kind of this type of thing, I feel like it was I did a worse job of setting it up so that things would be done at the right time. I'm trying to think what the way to plate this is. Um, I guess the okay, it's got like a it's on a like a wooden square, which I don't know. I do have like a a little wood cutting board, but I don't really feel like eating off of that. Um, where'd it go? There'd it go. Yeah, I guess I'll just like do a, a big plate. I'll do a medium plate. I own exactly one medium plate. My like medium plates that I use for most things are like barely any bigger than my smallest plates. And but then my big plates are like huge. Um, and I feel like if I like use them as dinner plates, I make like I take like way too much food, and then I'm like, I need to like this was not the correct amount of things to put on my plate. This one is medium in a way that no other plate I own is because it doesn't. I was about to say it doesn't match any. I do have one large plate that matches it. I'm turning this off because I don't know how the timer will sound, and I feel like the answer is bad. Okay. Hello. How are you? Um, Looks pretty good. Gonna sort of check, make sure it's cooked through. Which is like a little hard to tell if you do this right because it doesn't like it stays like a little translucent, but it looks different than if it's raw, which does appear to be the case. So I'm done cooking, which is beautiful, and I'm just gonna plate this. I will bring this bad boy over to show. Should have gotten a second. You can't really tell. It looks really beautiful. Unfortunately, my laptop webcam doesn't quite get that across. Um, but take my word for it. Here, that feels like probably not a great place to put that, but whatever. I'm gonna plant this. Plant. I want to plant this really fancy. I'm gonna plate this kind of fancy. Um, I am looking at the game image for inspiration, but we're gonna gussy it up. That is that a turn of phrase? It's I feel like it is, but it's like southerner than I am. Um, I want to be really smooth, be beautiful for me, be niceies to me. Um, putting so much effort into this like thing that is not going to show up very well on camera. I will probably take a picture of it to send to my friends. Um, and that I'm going to immediately eat. Where is my? There's mine. Okay. It also is actually the salmon. I am not eating like a pound of salmon. Um, my hope is that I will get. Well, I am going to eat a pound of salmon, just not in one meal. Um, I'm gonna go for. The problem is it's a very square piece of salmon, which this does not really lend itself to because I want a third of this, not a quarter. Um, but it's kind of a square overall. I'm hoping I will get, and I think that this will be beautiful and true. I'm planning on doing this leftovers as breakfast and lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna do different things with them, but I am going to do that. We're a little stuck to the lemons. It's fine. Harvesting. Okay, well maybe I'm getting extra skin. That's fine. I like salmon skin. Okay, that's pretty good. Um, We're so fancy. Um, and I'm being so careful. Oh, I'm going to pour butter all over the place. This is still hot. Okay, made a terrible mistake. There we go. We're so back. We're so back. No one's ever we're back with us. It's gonna be dark when I go other places. I guess it's only 7. Okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. I was like, this is gonna take at least until 7. Here's my beautiful salmon dinner. Um, the only thing that I haven't tried is the salmon, so I will do that before I end stream. Try the skin too. Okay, this isn't like my most favorite way to cook salmon skin. I like to like take the skin off and then like fry that and get it really crispy. I do think that I was gonna say I think that like olive oil is better. I'm not sure. Not sure if I do think that. There's like something with this lemon butter that I could balance better, but I'm not sure what it is. It might be putting like lemon juice instead of lemon zest. I'm actually not the hugest fan of lemon zest. I prefer juice, but whatever. Thanks for watching. Yippee. Next time maybe blackberry tart. I think is the blackberry one. Yeah.